90% of people in the US take a loan to buy or build a house. That is why the question, how can I get a construction loan, is one of the most popular questions. Can I get a loan to buy a lot and then take another loan for construction? Today, I will speak with a loan expert, Elena. She will share her expertise and secrets to help you escape failures. Hi, Lena.
Good morning.
I want to get a construction loan to build my home. Where should I start? Which steps should I take to not fail?
First, you should speak with a licensed loan expert like me.
Great. I am here.
Perfect. You're on the right path. The most important thing you should do is identify which home you want to construct and where. We can give a loan up to 80% of the house price, depending on the construction estimated cost, and after the building is finished.
Wait, I don't have a house yet.
Yes, I know.
How can I get a loan for a house I don't have yet?
We will estimate the average house cost after its construction. But first, you should present an idea or a design plan for the house. Then, we can calculate its cost based on it.
So, as far as I understand, I shall make a design plan for my home before getting a loan?
Yeah, that's right.
I should present the design made by a licensed architect, and based on it, the house estimation must be made?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, I have another question then. To create a house design, I need to have a plot of land, right? Should I buy it?
Yes, right. There are two possibilities. One is buying a plot in cash and including this sum as a part of your initial fee for the loan. Another is getting a loan for purchasing a plot and constructing a home. You can choose any of these options.
So, it will be two loans, for buying a plot and...
No, it will be one loan, to buy a plot and then construct a house.
Okay, Lena, I want to systemize everything to get a clear understanding of the whole process. The first thing I should do is to find a plot of land.
Right.
So, I will buy the plot or give a prepayment for it, and that will be included in the future construction loan application, right?
Right.
Second, I must make a design. Architectural, engineering, septic, and everything else to make an estimate.
Yes, but that's not entirely true. Considering you don't want to spend all money on design, it's priced up to $15,000. You may make a preliminary design or project that costs less to clarify how your house will be located on a plot and what square footage it will have. This will be enough to make a pre-estimate of your home cost.
Am I correct to think that design is needed for the next step? Estimate?
Correct.
Lena, let's think. I'm going to construct a $1 million house. How much should I have in cash, and which steps should I take?
First, you should have enough money for a down payment. For such a house, it's about $200,000. Additionally, there are loan expenses or closing costs like estimate report cost, title company deals, check charges, and other expenses, all achieving about 1% of the purchase cost.
So, it's an additional $10,000 approximately?
A little bit more. For a $1 million sum, it would be around $15,000 to $20,000.
Which risks should I consider by getting a construction loan?
First, you should consider annual rising prices that increase construction costs. This is why we cannot often estimate the ultimate construction cost, and you should include 10 to 15% in cash to secure the construction finish. Banks are limited with the loan's volume depending on the estimated cost. Often, this estimated cost is not equal to the actual construction cost. You should be ready to pay this difference.
My clients often ask me to estimate the construction expenses as close to the actual cost as possible, but it's impossible. So, when I estimate the maximum price, my clients are often unsatisfied, saying I've overestimated their expenses. I then explain to them that material costs are rising and it's better to get more money. Have there been any cases when clients got a construction loan but failed to finish the construction? What happens in this case?
Well, it's a complex case. I personally haven't experienced such issues. From my clients, I have known that in this case, the only way out is to get a bigger loan with a higher estimated cost. If a construction cost rises, a home cost is also higher. So the only resolution to get a bigger loan is to get a home estimate report and, based on it, to get an 80% loan. It's the maximum sum of loans available at the bank by now. If this sum is not enough to buy a house, a client will need to find additional funding. Unfortunately, according to the bank's rules, we cannot help with this, but I think they may be savings, stocks, or assets. Lending with relatives is not allowed as it's considered a second lien.
So, I can conclude that to get a loan, I should assess all expenses and have good savings to cover up rising prices or new conditions on a construction market. Loan programs cannot provide refinancing in the process. So, if I get a loan, I should use the sum limited with it.
Right.
So, it's imperative to secure a 15 to 20% buffer of a construction cost?
Yes, you may increase your loan at the end of its period as a result of the updated house estimation. Not refinancing. The standard estimation increase is around 15 to 20% of a construction cost. A buffer you should include to respond to cost changes.
Lena, let's consider I've saved $150,000 and want to get a loan. Which steps or pre-approval stages should I take?
Yes, right. You should get a pre-approval from a licensed loan officer. To get it, you must gather a standard package of the documents which follow the rules of 2. 1. 2 years of tax returns. 2. 2 years of income. And 3. 2 years of living in the USA. That's all 3 2s. Of course, your credit history is also considered. As usual, this rule of 2 has exceptions. For example, we can get loans to people who live less than 2 years in the USA. Still, all rules have their exceptions.
Today is 2022. Does it help to get a loan with the rule of 2?
Yes, it does. Because there are exceptions as mentioned. We will follow the economic situation development because they impact the mortgage rules by making them stiffer. The more complicated the economic condition, the more challenging a mortgage process.
Which interest rate should I consider if I want to get a loan?
Well, they start from 5 to 6% for a construction loan if you're a reliable client with a good credit history. For example, with this type of loan, the interest rate rose compared to last year, when they were 3 or 4%. In fact, for such a short-term loan as 12 to 15 months, this interest rate is very good. But if you are not from a good client category, the interest rates can be much higher.
When I finish the construction, which refinancing can I expect? What difference range should I consider? Let's say, between a construction loan and a regular loan interest rate.
Well, the traditional conventional loan with a 30-year term that allows us to pay less monthly, the interest rate for our perfect client will be from 4.5 to 5%, so the difference is not significant.
Interest rates have risen.
Yes, the interest rates have risen for the last 2 months. Still, there is an interesting fact in traditional, conventional, and construction loans difference. You may pay interest rates every month only when you pay for a construction loan. The advantage is that you should spend less monthly and thus Save money for the construction expenses. The disadvantage is that you should make the loan payments in full by the end of the 12 to 15 months. This is called a balloon loan. That's why most clients get refinancing applying to traditional conventional loan.
Okay, I know some points must be paid when getting a construction loan. What are they and how much should I pay?
Well, it depends on the bank terms. For example, a construction loan is more expensive, so these points are the buy-down rate or the commission payment that a lender takes on for a definite interest rate. The buy-down rate amount depends on a chosen lender, ranging from 2 to 3 or 4%. Our clients have experienced different rates, so we try to choose the lenders with the least rates.
So this money is non-refundable, yeah?
Yes, they are included in the closing cost, the sum you have to pay to get a loan.
Lena, I want to find out what a construction loan will cover. For example, I understand that the design plan expenses are not covered and I should pay for it myself. I should also buy a land plot, let's say by getting another loan, and then all expenses linked to construction works like landscape, furniture, a doghouse.
Oh no, stop, please. You cannot buy furniture with a construction loan, but you can cover expenses on landscaping and even a doghouse if it's a part of the design.
Okay, what about permit document expenses? Can I use a construction loan to cover them, or should I pay for them additionally?
It's up to you. Suppose you have your own savings to pay for permits. You'd better use them. In this case, you'll have to get a loan later during the construction and save money on interest rates. If you do not have money, you can cover permit expenses with a construction loan.
What is the best time to get a construction loan? Before or after I have gotten the permits?
I would recommend getting a loan after you've got all of the permits. First, you'll be more confident to start the construction. Second, you will save money on interest rates because you will have to start paying them from the first month you've got a loan. So the later you get it, the less money you will have to pay.
How long does it take to get a loan? The permits have their validity terms, usually around 1 year. After that, you can prolong it, but you will have to pay money again. So, how much time does it take to get a loan?
The loan is approved within 30 days. The construction loan's usual term is between 12 and 15 months, so the term is short and limited with the construction period. You may refinance it to a traditional conventional loan and pay its interest rate when the construction finishes. Most of our clients do that.
Now, the supply chains are disrupted, so construction terms often fail. Is it possible to prolong a construction loan?
Yes, the banks are usually ready to compromise if construction is lingered and agree to prolong the loan agreement. I had a case when the contract was prolonged up to 3 years.
3 years? It's too long-term for construction. We usually finish constructing within 12 months. However, considering the disrupted supply chains, the construction can be completed within 15 months.
Well, it was instead an exception rather than a rule. Interestingly, the client who prolonged the agreement for 3 years wanted to build himself. Unfortunately, banks do not allow clients construction if they are not licensed experts, contractors, or subcontractors.
So, if I do not have general contractor insurance, I cannot build a home myself, even if I can?
Yes, that's right.
So I have to find a general contractor?
Yes, if you are a licensed plumber or electrician or any other licensed expert, you can do this part of construction work yourself because you are allowed to officially provide such kind of work.
So I'm applying for pre-approval with the rule of 2. If I get this pre-approval, will approving an 80% loan for $1 million be the next step?
Yes, there is still one more. The 5th step, which is also very important. You have to choose an experienced contractor in your particular residential construction area, gain a successful construction background, and be approved by a bank.
So I will need to choose a builder who is a general contractor and has liability or insurance from a general contractor and who provides licensed contractors?
Yes, subcontractors.
Subcontractors without whom I won't be able to build a house and get all inspection approvals?
Yes, that's correct. Another important thing to remember is that you can't change a contractor once the bank approves them. Even if you want to change them, this process is much more complex because you will have to get approvals during the construction. You should try to be very careful and confident in choosing a general contractor and a builder to construct your house.
Okay, how much time will I have to pass to the next step of getting a construction permit after I have got the pre-approval? What time will I have between these two steps?
Well, we cannot lock the rate so quickly, and everything will depend on the county and how fast they will be able to grant the permit. The permit granting also depends on how you are going to pay for them, with your savings or loan. In case of the payment with a loan, you will buy a plot, pay for the permit, and keep paying interest rates because you have to start paying them from the very beginning since you bought a land plot and applied for the permit then. As the permit approval process can be long, be ready to pay more. If you pay for the plot and permit with your own money, you can get a loan just after you have got the permit. In such a case, your interest rates payment period will be shortened by 3 to 6 months, and you will have to pay them only when you get a loan after getting the permit. So you will pay less and save up to 5 or 6 months.
Okay, the next step is the construction. We can start building with a 12 to 15 months loan.
Yes, 12 to 15 months.
Well, I'm resuming with the following approach is the best one. You buy a plot, make the design, estimate, and pre-approval with your savings. You'd better apply for a loan after applying for the permit, so you will start spending the loan after you've got the permit. You will save money on interest rates, save your time and health, which is more important in our turbulent environment. Of course, there are lots of details, and we will dive into them in our following videos. Lena, thank you so much for lots of valuable information needed for me to build my dream home.
My pleasure.